So, the summer of 2004, I was an 18-year-old with not a lot going on. I was working at Hollister and Kroger. I was folding clothes and retrieving carts with the enthusiasm of a man who is digging his own grave. So, other highlights you might remember from 2004, Usher's Yeah dropped and was an absolute banger. It still is, by the way. And the US military was absolutely balls deep in Iraq. Our Just the Tip approach from 1990, it was not working out, so we were back. And if you're an idle young man like myself at the time, you were receiving phone calls from your local military recruiter. So imagine my surprise when I walk into the door at my home and find a man in fatigues sitting at my kitchen table with my parents, and he pulls out the chair and invites me to join the discussion and talk about my future, which apparently was a conversation well underway when I showed up. I ended up calling the Air Force and I said, hey, I would like to work on airplanes and I will leave today. Is there any planes that need attention today? I'll go today. And he was like, well, let me ask you some questions. So he starts on some questions and we're on the phone. He said, have you been diagnosed and taken medication for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder? Yeah, I did. When I was in middle school, but that was years ago. I haven't taken medication in a long time. He said, I'm sorry. He didn't sound very sorry. But he said, I'm sorry, you can't join the Air Force if you have ADHD. Suddenly, I was miffed. I was the jilted lover. I was no longer having all of that attention, and I didn't realize how much I had enjoyed that and had been addicted to it until it was taken away. There's a war going on. I don't know if you heard, you're turning down me for a military service. He was like, okay, well, if you want to fix airplanes, the Navy actually has more airplanes than the Air Force. And I said, huh. So we hang up the phone, and my mom, who during this entire conversation is pretending to clean things around me. She's not hiding her eavesdropping very well. So she's like, so what'd they say? Like, well, Mom, I can't join the Air Force because I took Ritalin in 8th grade. But he's taking my stuff to the Navy recruiter. And did you know the Navy actually has more airplanes than the Air Force? And she said, huh, okay. Do you want to join the Navy? 5 minutes ago I did not, but now I really do. 6 months later, I found myself on a shuttle from the airport to Navy Recruit Training Command in Great Lakes, where a gentleman with a bright red face and a crisp white uniform was yelling at me to get off the fucking bus.